I wanted to talk a little bit about Frazetta's pillow book. Apparently, Ellie Frazetta put together this book with a bunch of stuff that Frank would leave for her. This is stuff that he didn't get paid to do. This is stuff that he did for fun. And what I like about this work is that he did this for fun. He didn't do it for money. So he's not worried about an art director telling him that it's the wrong color, or, you know, the arms are weird or the faces are wrong. This is just him being himself, and this is the best work in my opinion, because there's no filters. Even when he's wrong, he's right. He can do whatever the hell he wants. And I'm enjoying these faces a lot. Look at the noses and the ears and the anatomy. It's amazing. I'll do a couple of drawing demos on why I think is so cool. His sense of caricature is beautiful. Look at this little guy right here. It's amazing. I love these heels. You see that? He has a lot of straight lines and curves. What I like about the way he draws is that nothing's just a circle or a square for any reason. It's really like, it's almost like a car going down a road. If he needs to make a right or go straight, he'll go straight. He needs to make a right, go up, go left, to go right. And what I like about those type of lines is that it's very direct and very specific to the way your eye wants to be directed to, you know? Like he wants your eye to read that heel and that foot. So he's not going to make a circular pattern, you know? He's going to make a specific direction of how he wants to make you feel or make your eye read things. Like that finger and that thumb. Like I said, I'll make a demo on all these things. And just so we're clear, what I admire for Frazetta, it's not so much content. Content's cool. I mean, he's into barbarians and that's awesome. But what I like about this guy's stuff is just a sense of understanding his anatomy, design, and caricature. And these are the things that I look for in drawing or works of art. And I believe that he's the master at this. I mean, I'm looking at her back. Just these lines alone in her back is really amazing. I believe there's a sculpture of this picture here that's available online. Really pretty. When I draw, I tend to put too much anatomy to where it doesn't really look that appealing. Frank is able to caricature enough anatomy and leave enough to our imagination. I mean, that guy really knows how to leave stuff out and bring stuff in. As an example is, see that muscle there? That's going up to the bone, to the humerus bone actually, and to the scapula. There's like 2-3 muscles right in between here. And this guy's able to do it in really simple gestures. Jesus, man. Really nice stuff. This is one of my favorite pieces. I enjoy this piece a lot. Caricature, anatomy, all of it's in here. Really, really, really pretty. Done in watercolor. I love the faces too. Look at that. Gosh. Alright, well, it's called the Pillow Book. This was $40, I believe, on Amazon. I totally get a copy. There's more things in here, but I'll get to drawing first. Yeah, let's do this. Let's force my little camera here to get it to take the picture that I want. Alright. I apologize for my ghetto setup, but here we go. So let's draw this thing. I like how he doesn't draw the leg coming out here so you can read better. Instead, he'll put it there. That's really cool. Look at this little. That's so cool. I'll add a little negative space because I like negative spaces. And the intent here isn't to copy Frazetta. The intent here is to understand Frazetta. Alright. What's that? I'm gonna get a marker. I'm just gonna do some shading here with my marker. So what am I getting from this? Well, I'll give a glimpse of what I understand. I come from calligraphy. What I mean by that is my uncle's really good at it, so I picked it up myself. So I noticed that here I'll do a couple, a little rusty here. Like all these little things really intrigued me, you know, like S's, and I've noticed that all my stuff's like very curvy. You know, I'll get straight lines, but they, you know, everything's there's no real like straight lines in my writing or deliberate circles. You know, it's very oval like with thick and thins. And then I've noticed that in Frazetta's work, well, first of all, the reason why I'm talking about writing and calligraphy is because I've noticed that this is just how I write. This is how I naturally write. And so my drawing is the same way. So if I had drawn this, I would have done something like this instead. This is coming from drawing Mickey Mouse, and all this American like designs are very circular. It wasn't until like Cruella de Vil, from 101 Dalmatians, all that art style is very straight lines and things like that. And I don't like the design of that, the straights. It's not for me. I like the circular stuff, like Lady and the Tramp, has more circular designs. And I didn't know how to appreciate them much, but this is, as you guys see, everything's circle, circle, circle. Everything has a circle line. There might be some straights, but it's kind of hidden. And you can see the correlation with the way I write, And if you've ever noticed like artist signatures, take a look at the way they write and look at the way they draw. It's complementary. It's very, very impressive. Frazetta's is no different. But what I liked about Frazetta's work is that you see how I drew the belly, just one curve. That's cool. But like I was saying, that the eye, right? Like if I draw a line that does this, your eye will travel to this bent line. It almost feels like one swoop, right? But if I drew this, your eye will definitely pick up these little things. Where it went here, it turns, goes up, goes up. And it's interesting because this is more easy to look at, yet our eye can still pick this up and it is easy to look at, but it's more complicated. I guess what I'm trying to say is you can say one thing or you can say two things here. So what exactly am I trying to say? What two things do I want to say? Well, we're made up of bone and muscle, aren't we? So what is the design for muscle? Right? There's water in there, blood, and whatever. Then there's bone. Bone's a structured like thing. Yeah, we might have some circles, but if you ever look at a bone and the circles, they're more done this way with some curve, right? I'm talking about the design of stuff, right? But even muscle too. Even muscle, if you ever look at calves, they have like diamond-like shapes to them. So I started opening up myself up a little bit more, and I started to incorporate these type of design principles in my drawing. And as I was looking into all this stuff, I look at Frazetta's pillow book and I'm like, dude, the dude is already doing it. And so when I look at that belly, you see that line right there? I think, well, that could be his nipple. I'll do it right here. That can be his nipple, that can be his rib cage, and that can be his belly. So he's saying three things: belly, nipple, or the chest area, right? Or the rib cage. Rib cage, belly, and nipple. All right there. And you can see the subtleties. Sorry. You can see the subtleties right there.
Power off.
Hi, I'm back. So as I wanted to continue on with this, it's very exciting stuff. And so as I look at his knees right over here, so what he has going on is this really cool shape for the leg, which is I think is interesting because really what goes onto a leg is it's circular. Knees, hamstrings, and we got our calves here, a little bone. Right? Like leg wise. Here, I'll shade it up. All right. So that's what's going on. But what he chose to do was just give us a straight, like nice little bent line, which I think is really rad. And then he gives us a straight here, right? And then he goes inside, which is nuts. Comes right out. Goes like this. I mean, that is beautiful, beautiful stuff. You see it right there. Look at that. That's nuts. Then he shows us the calf, the Achilles tendon, and then the bone, wrinkles, and then he gives us the heel, which is cool because the heel is a really strong bone. And he has our eye travel like this. It's just really pretty. And you can tell the dude did it all in one shot. I mean, he's not doing this for anybody else but for his wife or himself, you know? And you can see it here too on this knee. Look at that. So, I mean, the guy knows where to put a straight line and where to put a curve. He needs a curve. You know, it's interesting because that's as curvy as I've ever seen his stuff, really. Right there. It's pretty curvy. But for the most part, look, straight lines, you know? And it chisels design out really nicely. Look at this hand here. I love this hand. Look at that. He could have done this, you know. But he did not. He bent it. That's so cool. And it's still pointing that way. I love it. So in this little finger here, he repeats that in so many of his drawings. I'll show you. Look at that. He does it here too. So good. I'll do more drawing demos in the future. I thought I'd just introduce the pillow book and kind of bring up some stuff that really intrigued me and helped me understand about design and structure and what makes, in my opinion, Frazetta so special to me is his knowledge of anatomy and design. And as I'm picking this stuff up over the years, the guy's already been doing it. It's amazing. And this is stuff I wanted to share. Thanks. Oh, and by the way, I'll be putting up this image on my Patreon. I'll put a link, and if I can find the other drawings too, I'll put them up on my Patreon so you guys can view them. And if there's any requests, just feel free to ask. I like to explain stuff and help others understand what I understand, or maybe you guys can help me out and I can pick up some stuff so I can learn. Thanks.